Hi, today we're going to talk about annotation and a great little tool that helps keep your class conversations text-centered in a very real way. And for that purpose, we'll talk about annotation. Annotation not in the sense of those little critical summaries that we write when we're reviewing scholarly papers, but annotations in the sense of writing text on top of other texts. So annotation's been around for a long time. You can look at medieval manuscripts and see little doodles in the margins. You can see notes that demonstrate the way reading has always been, ever since the inception of books, a process of a conversation more so than perceived as a one-way channel. And a lot of you guys already know this because when you get your textbooks, you highlight them, you put questions and comments in the side to keep reading a process of engagement. And learning experts tell us that this also helps with your retention of the material, and of course you know that as well. But what if we could leave the same kind of notes on web pages out there on the internet? Well, enter a tool called Hypothes.is. Now take a look at that name, Hypothes, because that tells you how to get to it on the internet, that little dot before the IS at the end. This is a tool created by a nonprofit to help you do that very tactic of annotating the internet. So to get started, we've got a URL on this page too, but you can also find a link to it from the web page. You sign up for a free account. Then you add Hypothes to your browser. This is going to be an extension that works on Chrome, very easy to do. Now the next step you might want to do is join or set up a group. I've set up groups for my writing classes that I teach so that we can share documents together and see each other's annotations. Then you go out there to a web page somewhere in the great beyond, and you'll find that little H in the speech bubble up there on your address bar. That's the Hypothes button. You're going to want to click that, which will open this little shelf. Now, a lot of times if you've closed a Chrome session, you're logged out of Hypothes. So you just go in, click sign in. It's a very easy process. So now I'm going to close that shelf and go back to the web page. So here I am on the web page. I've got Hypothes installed. I'm going to select some text, and I have two options in this little pop-up that shows that I can either annotate or I can highlight that text. If I annotate it, that shelf pulls out again, and now I have a space where I can write my comments. Not only can I write my comments, but I can see comments that other people have put and have shared with my group or made public. And also I can see my private notes as well, depending on what setting I have up there at the top. Now, that little gray button at the bottom tells where I'm posting. Am I putting it in that group? Am I posting it privately, or am I making it public? Also, I can add as many hashtags as I want so that I can organize these annotations. But I want to point out that you can also use that tagging system where you're making up the tags as a way to bookmark the page or to organize your bookmarks so you don't have to have a gazillion tabs open on your browser all the time like I do. We can also put media-rich content into these annotations. So you can go to any YouTube video, click share, grab the URL from the box that pops up, and then you can paste that into that text box and create a media-rich annotation that I believe puts us one step ahead of those monks. But I'll let you guys decide that. Note also that this particular example shows a conversation that I happen to be having with myself where I'm responding to a previous comment that I made. So again, this is a way to create a truly text-centered classroom conversation moment through this electronic tool. A couple little notes you need to keep in mind. One of them, I think maybe most importantly, is that if you're using this in real time with students, let's say you're Zooming with them and you're all on some document and you're annotating together, you're going to want to reload that page periodically so you can see people's annotations. Aside from that, I would say that as you experiment, you will find new and interesting ways to use this tool, and I hope it's helpful in turning your classroom a little bit more text-centered when you need it to be, and also still having that notion of text as something that students engage with through conversation. This is Marino. Hope that was helpful.